for this year, so not a winner from last year. ThirdWatch. ThirdWatch is an AI, so artificial intelligence, a buzzword at the moment, driven e-commerce fraud prevention startup. So cybersecurity and AI together. Its flagship product, Mitra, evaluates and flags every transaction in real time as either being fraudulent or genuine on the basis of a trust score. The score is generated with the help of machine learning algorithms, users' browsing behavior analysis, device fingerprinting, location profiles, and other parameters which determine every transaction's authenticity. So, 4-minute pitch. The pressure is on.
Hi, good evening everyone. I am Adarsh.
Hi, I am Shashank.
We are co-founders of ThirdWatch. We are stopping fraud in e-commerce using AI. To give the overview of how big the problem is, in UK itself in 2016 e-commerce companies lost more than 309 million pounds to e-commerce fraud. Worldwide it is a $1 billion problem. There are multiple kinds of fraud which e-commerce companies sees, and some are most prominent in one geography compared to another. In India, we still live cash, and cash COD orders, cash on delivery orders, still comprise of 60 to 70% of e-commerce orders. In that cash on delivery, RTO, return to origin, like people ordering but not receiving the item, comes back to the warehouse, is very high. It is as high as 30%. Payment fraud is predominant in Western geographies, then promo code and loyalty fraud. Fake item return is another unique fraud which happen in India and multiple geographies, and wallet fraud. Our engine Mitra, what it does is it evaluates each transaction in less than 200 milliseconds and generate either a red flag or a green flag. While the green flag transactions automatically go through without influencing the customer experience, the red flag transaction go to a review dashboard. Now, some people have some solutions, but those are very legacy and limited to, say, name, email, zip code. What we do is, we also even check something like, okay, if somebody is ordering a 50,000 rupees sari on a 5,000 rupees phone, we see, is it symmetrical? Is it like a high-end location, low-end location which he is ordering from? If the user is using same device, creating multiple accounts, we have very strong device fingerprinting, and if we can figure that out. We are doing a paradigm shift in how fraud is caught. Basically, I mean, we are not building a better mousetrap, we are building a cat. So in mousetrap, I mean, different animals can be caught. It may not be a mouse. Cat will recognize it is basically a mouse. Then the mouse may employ different tricks, basically. So it is adaptive. It will learn, okay, that it is not a stationary sort of logic. So it is not a like rule-based system can't do it. Some numbers from what we have seen so far. So this is a representative number because client data is very sort of sacrosanct, so we don't share. But what we have seen is, in general, if before ThirdWatch, if 71 orders were delivered and 29 had a RTO, after we come into picture, we reduced it to like more than 80%, and we also were able to increase. So RTO is very high, like in fashion category, it even sometimes crosses like 35–40%, and we have been able to reduce it effectively by more than 80%. So some of the Mitra strengths are?
Yeah. So for accurately fraud detection, we capture a lot of data points from mobile and website. So for an example, we capture like 32 sensors data from device. Is user is like stationary or is like by moving from this location. And for enriching that inputting data, we use some third-party data. For an example, we augment point of interest data. Is it 3-star location or 5-star location, or some government data also, key, for an example, zip code to match the city and state, and to use that data where we uniquely identify the user by using our device fingerprinting algorithm. So by using device fingerprinting algorithm, if user is creating multiple email IDs or phone numbers on same device, we know that he is the same user. So our AI engine Mitra developed on scalable and big data technologies. We use deep learning for predicting the fraud by using users' past behavior and patterns. If user is new, still we can detect by using our anomaly detection algorithms. So we use many AI micro models like address profiling, user profiling, velocity profiling, and we are using Kafka, Cassandra, and Flink for solving this problem. We generate the results within the 200 milliseconds after the transaction, and when we generate the result, that generates two flags, red or green. If it's green, that automatically goes into shipment. If it's red, that goes into our dashboard. That goes into our dashboard for review. So in our dashboard, we show the order detail, what's the order, and in right side, we show the risk factor, what are the risk factors. So we show only 2 or 3 risk factors, so that makes easy to decision. And then user can approve that or block that. If it's approved, then it goes into shipment. If it's blocked, then it automatically cancels.
So basically for the business model, because we are so confident, so the first 60 days trial is free and it is of the cost on us. We have seen that, you know, all the people who have gone through trial have become paid customers. So integration is very easy. For the Shopify and Magento, we have plugins, and for others, we have APIs and SDKs for different languages. Our what we have seen is that we have been able to reduce like the RTO and other frauds to by 70 to 80%, but we guarantee that at least 50% we will definitely reduce. And the pricing is, so if we are saving 100 rupees, we typically charge like 15 to 20 rupees. To make it simple, we charge 0.2%, that is 1 rupees on a 500 rupees transaction. On each transaction, we evaluate.
All right, perfect. At this point, I'm going to ask you guys to stop and over to the jury here.
Now, you've been in business for around 2 years?
So we started in April 2016.
Okay, around 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Now, in the second month of your operations, from the data that you gathered in the second month of your operation to the data that you gathered in September of 2017, what are the difference in insights you got on the frauds that are being committed?
So
as all this enormous amount of data made things easier for you to predict the kind of frauds that could happen and more sophisticated frauds.
So we'll give you some example. We can't reveal everything because like that is open community. Yeah. So 2 examples. One is like for an example, if somebody is showing price on their site is like 1,000 rupees or 1,500 rupees at 10 a.m. and after some discount if he is showing like 800 on like at 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. So user will reorder. He won't cancel the first order. So that is our chances ki like first order will be RTO. Or that will be like return. And second case.
Yeah, another thing we have seen is some people are genuine, but they result in RTO because they are not so educated. So they will put incomplete address. Like okay, Choraha in Mirzapur, for example. You know, when we flag those orders because we are very strong on address profiling, then those orders which would have been RTO'd are now converted into delivered orders. So we also result in increasing. So some of the things like. And people may think that, you know, who is returning duplicate items. So people order 5,000 rupees shirt, but a lady defrauded Amazon for 1 crore rupees over a period of 2 years with 124 transactions. So I mean, some are very startling. People create hundreds of accounts just to provoke out abuse.
Who are the smart guy who got away despite your product? Anybody got away?
I mean, we would not know if they would have got away.
I just had a question, because the idea is not new. Many people are trying to do the same thing. What differentiates you to actually build a scalable model here?
Yeah. So, couple of things. So, one is, I think some fraud patterns are local in a way. So, Indian fraud patterns are not exactly same as US fraud patterns. Second is, we have partnership with some of the top universities, one with Carnegie Mellon US and IIT Kanpur India. So we are constantly working on the algorithm, how to improve the accuracy, and our technology behind it enables us to do it in real time. So we use real, sort of near real time, I'll say not exactly real time, but near real time in less than 200 milliseconds. So we can be used even for digital goods, not only physical goods.
And we are using network effect also. If we are working with 4 e-commerce companies and if somebody frauded in one e-commerce company, if he is trying to fraud in second e-commerce company, we raise the flag. He have done somewhere else.
But that doesn't answer my question. What's your competition and how, you know, because this...
Yeah,
okay, so competition is, there's no Indian company which is our competition. They are competition based out of US and Israel. They mostly work on prepaid fraud, that is chargeback, which is the predominant kind of fraud there. In India, there are some in-house solutions. Typically, I mean, they are typically rule-based, which so people will not ship on international credit cards order, even if it is a prepaid order. People will block entire PIN codes, entire states even. So they'll not deliver there. So those kind of rules, if somebody has 3 returns, they'll not order. So in-house teams, some companies try to use that. So that is, in India, that is our competition. In US and Israel, we definitely have like multiple companies, Swift, Science, Forter, Threatmetrics, who do similar fraud prevention.
Okay, I see that Mr. Gupta is not very convinced. You want to jump in with a question and then we'll wind this one up.
Adarsh, what is the false positive you're doing? What are the orders you should have not blocked and you've blocked?
So what we measure is typically F1 score, so like precision and recall. So right now it is at around 85%. So what we have seen is false positive should be around 5%. However, we still result in increase in the delivered order because some of the orders which would have been RTO'd because of genuine customers and mistakes from them, we are able to deliver that. So net, but yeah, so F1 score is what we focus on because that is what will lead us.
And it's increasing as we are getting more data and more patterns.
All right, on that note, thank you very much, Adarsh and Shashank. Put your hands together for this, please. And let me